we can maybe look up. With a little glitchy to begin with, but just like the last time, the first time we were launching. Okay, this second launch, we're going to smooth everything out. Everything's going to be beautiful. The first one, we're going to look at, and it's something I received. It's actually for Environment Canada, and I received it. Everybody was receiving their emails last night, and I was laughing because it said stock up on food and necessities. This is what Environment Canada kind of put out last night for the alerts for Windsor, Essex, and Chatham, Kent, because we didn't know it was. If you want to talk, I'm from the what do you call it? The emerging metric age. So we could talk. There was supposed to be about 10 to 15 centimeters, or 6 inches of snow was coming our way. But this is what was kind of put out at 4:41 on the Tuesday. It was actually that was the day before. They were giving the great big warning, and they're just saying it was going to hit. It's going to go all the way up. We saw, if you looked at the weather patterns, they were screaming through, and it was the same thing. We kind of all looked at it. I try to follow the weather. We talk. I talk inches sometimes, but that's because of, again, that's how I was brought up. And I was shocked when I was watching again Mad Dog Jim Mattis, and our average normally for the month or for the winter is like 24 is 24 inches, and it was like 25 what we had last year, 25 inches, and we were at 59 inches before this weather pattern hit. So we're already getting about 65 inches of snow, and it was blowy and it was awful. And if you didn't have to go out, you shouldn't have gone out. If you had to go out, I feel sorry for you, because you had the crazy drivers that don't know how to drive in it. You had people trying to be cautious, and you're just wondering where people had to go. And I'll be truthful. In the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, it didn't look that bad. But when the wind hit, and they said the wind was going to come, when the wind hit, and you started to get the drifting, and you started getting the whiteouts, that's when it really changed. And that is the kind of the weather that we're still kind of dealing with, and it's not been a lot of fun. So if you want to give me, try to perk people up a little bit here, saying I'm assuming that the calls to the travel agents went up tenfold today. But put up slide number 3 for me, Alex, to show that this is a kind of a part of my Facebook karma, the kind of stuff that I get to see on Facebook karma. Okay, and we'll say it again, is how about that heat? What heat? I don't even know if you can get heat down to South America. And what it was really at the end, it was I got it from Fran G. She's near Tecumseh, and she says, I'm thinking tropical island today, and it was shared immediately. 16 people jumped on it and liked it. Again, this was kind of earlier in the day. And some of the comments, John R., I would join you on this thought if I could see past the expletive snow. Okay, he's not happy with the snow. Good thinking, warm instead of cold blowing snow. No kidding, of course, from Cindy S. And somebody had just had to return to this mess, was in paradise, as she said. I was in paradise. I wish I was back in paradise like I was last week. And so this is some of the comments that we were getting. And I'm going to say, I'm talking about it, so we'll just we'll go past it. I woke up yesterday to the Back to Reality Day, waking up to the snow today. And of course, Kelly P said, I'm with you. And that is as crazy as it was today. Once you dug out, once you got through the drifts, it was light snow. Like I was out there shoveling. It was light snow, but it definitely was a pattern that we are soon want to forget and hope that we can all laugh and say, but we're into February. Let's hope that's it for this craziness. But I just don't know. I just don't think it is. If you could, Alex, if you want, show me slide number 5. Show me 5. Okay, there's 5. And what it says here is, because it was Groundhog Day, I think it was last Sunday, and Warrington Willie and Punxsutawney Phil, and they gave us that horrible, horrible news that it was 6 more weeks of winter, and sure enough, boom, we get hit by this. So, of course, Grumpy Wolf said, you know what, the groundhog said 6 more weeks of winter, so I ate them, okay? And I think there's a lot of people in North America that actually were okay with the fact that the Grumpy Wolf got him. And the Grumpy Wolf doesn't like winter or groundhogs or much of anything. He's just grumpy. And this was actually the photo comes from the nonprofit. The original photo was taken by Spirit, or Spirit was taken at WOLF with periods. It's called Wolf. It's a nonprofit organization for a wolf sanctuary. And photo credit goes to P.E. Lantieri for taking that photo of the wolf named Spirit. So that's kind of where we're at. with that, kind of get us a good weather start, kind of jump into it. We're going to be we'll be back we'll be back in a couple minutes with Facebook Karma, talk about some of the craziness that's on Facebook. And so with that, don't forget, don't forget to watch Betty on the Go. She's doing very, very well. And okay, are we on commercial? Okay, and we're back. You're watching the Convergence Report. I am Mike Thomas, and don't forget, it's going to be on Thursday. I think it's on Thursday this week. Thursday, you're going to have the double show of Betty on the Go, and you're going to have Ashley Nicole's Beyond Incredible. We are doing the Express game on Friday. Windsor Express are back in town, and we're going to be doing them on Friday. With still they're up the top. By the up top, just give me a nod at the head. Are they still number one, Alex? Okay, yep, still number one up there, and you know what? We need people to come out and watch the game. So give me slide number 6. And you can confirm with me it's Facebook Karma. Okay, my thought police, I saw that. And the reason I've done this, and we're going to kind of play around a little bit today, the reason, I kind of caught it, again, Facebook Karma, so it's perfect. At the end, it was yesterday. Yesterday was Facebook Canada, I kind of did a little research there, Facebook Canada's 10th birthday. It came a long way since it was launched in 2004. As the Facebook.com, and Facebook users have too. To mark the occasion, they have put together a list of the biggest life lessons we've learned through logging on. And this I picked it up kind of through email, it's called The Trove, which kind of pulled it off as far as a news feed from Women's Health magazine, or womenshealth.com. And for there, it's just we'll kind of pop the slides up there in regards to, it's almost like it's a top 10 list. Talking about top 10 lists about the things that happen when we're on Facebook, okay, or experiences we've had with Facebook over the last 10 years. So if you can give me slide number 7, Alex, that will give me my beginning there, and that is up to go. And what it is number 1 on our top 10 list is, and again, this is from Women's Health. This is from womenshealth.com. Relationships through Facebook, as I think we all notice, can be complicated. Okay, whether or not you're in a relationship or not in a relationship, you got to make sure you tick the box and make sure you change the box and make sure you do this and make sure that. And of course, never leave your Facebook open. Never leave it open, because at the end of the day, when I went to school, the kids would jump on your Facebook and they make little comments, and and they thought it was hilarious. But some people didn't think it was hilarious. Number 2, the editors at BuzzFeed and Upworthy, and again, this is Facebook over the years, are evil and creative geniuses. So just some of the different things that people have been kind of saying in regards to their experience with Facebook. Okay, if you change your hairstyle, number 3, if you change your hairstyle or gain 5 pounds, everyone from your 3rd grade classmate to that guy you met at the bar once will find out about it. Okay, so that's what they kind of be doing on Facebook. And of course, number 4, no, you don't actually want to know what your ex's new girlfriend was doing at least in the last 100 pictures she posted on Facebook. So, so this keeps on going. It's immediate. Life keeps evolving. And of course, 5, there are millions ways to overshare, and your mom has figured out a way to do all of them at all the same time. Okay, so it's not just it's a generational thing now. Everybody's using Facebook. Everybody's posting pictures. Everybody's happy about being able to post stuff up and show the parts of their lives, okay, especially in the 10 years of Facebook. Okay, so get me to my next slide there, Alex, so we can, number 8. Give me number 8, we can finish off the top 10 list. There, okay, so that was 7, it should be 8. Okay, so number 6 would be the stories you share and the stories you shamefully click on are definitely not the same. Number 7, would pet wedding baby photos get surprisingly old quickly? of course, it says in number 8, unless they are your own. You could look at them all day and just love them. Okay. Number 9, engagement season is most definitely a thing. Okay, so that's something a little bit new. And number 10, okay, number 10 of the big from Women's Health Magazine or womenshealth.com. Nothing on Facebook is real. It's just what people want you to know about your life. Those vacation bikini party pics, it's called editing. What you don't see is the 354 days of the year your friends spent eating Kraft mac and cheese on the couch while watching Netflix. Da-da-da-da-da-da. So that is our 10th anniversary of Facebook Canada, and some of it ringingly very true to all our viewers that actually use Facebook. So that's where we're kind of going right there. And going on with Facebook, Carmen, because like some things that they hit the print newspapers, they're on the regular news, and some things kind of like they blast out there just because of the theme of what's happening, and maybe because it's Windsor-Essex, it kind of holds a little bit more true to it at that. But we had a special invite. It was a special invite. Okay, and I guess we'll call it, I call it right now the Hudak Challenge. So I put my slide up there. It's a beautiful invite. And slide number 9 there, Alex. Okay, so let's take a look at slide number 9. And it is a beautiful, uniform, red-colored invite. And it cordially invited, I'm going to say invited because it's past tense now, Tim Hudak, leader of the Progressive Conservative Party of Canada, to debate with Jerry Diaz, Unifor National President. The topic, a very simple topic in regards to the current policies of the PC leader, Tim Hudak of the Progressive Conservative Party of Ontario, how unions help create decent jobs in the province, and why the PC job plan doesn't add up. Why it just doesn't add up. You can just say you can create 1 million jobs, okay, but what's your real plan? So what it was, it said when, anytime, where, anywhere. With some good ideas, we can do better for Ontario. A union is for everyone, and that's what Unifor is basically trying to say. It's not just, when it was Canadian auto workers, they took a lot of heat because it was auto this and auto that, but it's not that. It really does represent, Unifor represents everybody across Canada, across the board, and especially with the hit that manufacturing, and again diversity, I guess, waiting for the diversity to come in Ontario, but manufacturing, and which was a huge base, a huge build for the middle class over the years to make sure our pensioners, okay, and the workforce, and the ones that supply that particular workforce, and the ones that work within that workforce are all paid fair wages, paid good benefits, okay, makes a difference because the good benefits help the guy that helps your eye doctor, and helps who you buy your glasses from, it helps you go to the dentist, okay, it all cascades down at the end of the day. And when those changes are made, and when we start losing those things, or people don't get those anymore, you start seeing the changes that happen across the board that affect the whole community, okay, we just think it's secular to that. So we definitely would want to know. And then what happened was at the end, and it came out quite clearly, and I don't even know if it was through Hudak or was this one of his party, the deputy party, the party leader, he comes out and says, you know what, well, I'm not going to debate with the Jerry Diaz. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to debate with any union official. I'll only debate those issues with the politicians. Although the attack is straight on constantly, his attack is straight on all the time with the union leadership, but he doesn't want to talk to them directly. And even when Hines was going down, he'd come running, flying there at the last minute because, workers are important too. And that's what he decided to do. And he actually, what he's done, he's turned them down, and he doesn't want to debate. It's Tory Labour critic, MPP Monty McNaughton said he'll have no part of that debate, and he just doesn't want to bother with it. He just wants to use his little right-to-work legislation. And people really need to do some research on that and see that the states, okay, and even Michigan's just beginning it. So I know Michigan kind of slid it in a little bit there, and it was historical for it to happen in Michigan. It was historical for it to happen in Wisconsin, okay, because that was the ones they went after, okay, to try to continue downward spiral the wages and benefits of people working in the more, I'm going to say not affluent, but the ones that built over time, over a long period of time, good wages and benefits for the members of the constituents of their states. And so they kind of went like that. So again, he says he will not do it. Hudak will not take the challenge. He says, I will only speak with speak with or debate with Kathleen Wynne and Andrea Horvath, but probably not individually. It has to be a debate, because if you go back, you really have to go back and go back through history and follow how the PCs debate, and they don't answer any questions. They'll fly around their plan, and they'll throw their plan and my million job plan, but what they don't really have is the brass tacks part of the plan to show everybody when they're in a debate. That's normally what they kind of do. And that kind of leads us to the next one. I never really had the opportunity to snowstorms and things and some other issues. Hasn't allowed me to get to the screen as quickly as I wanted to. But we really had it was Ontario PC candidate for Essex. Okay, and he was a PC candidate, and he kind of moved out there, and he ran last time. He wasn't successful, but he was willing to go. And then what happened was he decided to let the caucus know. He started to speak out against the policy, saying they're not looking at the big picture. And this is Dave Brister, okay, and he's not former Windsor councillor, and he said, I've been hearing different things on the doorsteps, that you got to be careful with this right to work stuff, that it does not create all these middle class jobs. It does not build all the things that blindly that HUDAC says the million job plan will do for Ontario and how it will build for Ontario. And because he took that stand, what happened was he basically, and he was fired. It was unsanctimoniously. It was just like, boom, you're gone. They came down and they wiped him right away. Gone. See you later. Right to work is a main part of their caucus plan. Right to work, they need to have it to get their million jobs that they're promising. And it just was unbelievable. And this was, I picked up some of it from the story, and it was done by Craig Pearson of the Windsor Star. And the bottom line is, okay, from what Brister had to say in regards to that story, he goes, I absolutely don't regret what I did, he said. If I had to do it again, I would do exactly the same. The way to prosperity is not through lower wages, and that's what right to work will do. And that is from a former PC Ontario caucus member who saw the writing on the wall and say, no, that's not the way to go. Okay, yeah, there's some things we need to do in Ontario, by no means, but not that particular plan. So this is, I'd like to show a short clip right now, and the short clip, it's something I was at a meeting. Oh, geez, and it's, this is where we think things become dated, but actually, it just keeps rolling around. It becomes topical. It never stops being topical. And so I have a video, and it's from Wayne McLean. He's the education chairperson for Unifor 444. And you see all the different links of who is trying to effect change. And if we could show, it's a quick little video, and it's Wayne McLean kind of explaining, or kind of putting his spin, if you want to call it that, on what right to work means.
Says, what's right to work mean to you? The answer should be work for less means less pensions, less benefits. Says, what's right to work mean to you? The answer should be work for less means less pensions, less benefits, higher unemployment. That's what it means to me. It's a good message. Right to work sounds great. Who doesn't want the right to What's right to work mean to you? The answer should be work for less means less pensions, less benefits, higher unemployment. That's what it means to me. It's a good message. Right to work sounds great. Who doesn't want the right to a job, right? Who doesn't want the right to be able to make sure that they're fully employed? Because that's what it sounds like. It sounds like you're getting a right to a job. And the conservative right is very good at putting up messages. They're much better at it than we are. They've been doing it a lot longer because we've kind of been asleep at the wheel when it comes to messaging. And so when they come out with something like right to work, we have to say, well, how do we change that? And how do we make it more of our language? And in doing that, what we've come up with is work for less.
Okay, am I back? Okay, that's a short. Again, it was a short clip. We're trying some new things here to see. We're trying to be a little bit more topical and be able to give the information straight from the other people. I have talked to Wayne McLean. I have invited him. We're do invites. We'll do invites right now. I have invited him to come on the show. He's trying to arrange something in his schedule, or at least either himself or somebody that we can sit and talk about the issue a little bit more. Great. We'll dedicate like more of a show to it. Okay, instead of this kind of this hit and run type of thing. And I'll do the invite here if we can get Dave Brister to come on. That'd be great. We'd like to talk to Dave and say, this is what he wanted to do. And because, how I was taught in school about journalism, okay, try not to be too biased on the one side. Whoever is going to be the next candidate for the Ontario Essex PC, the PC Ontario Essex candidate for whenever the next election is, here's the invite right now if you want to come on and discuss it. You want to call it debate or just want to talk? Okay, we can talk about the PC platform in regards to right to work, and I will be here. So that's 3 invites, and I bet you, I can guarantee you right now, Wayne McLean will show up. So let's see if Dave and whoever the new candidate was, whoever's taking over for Dave, no problem. We'll sit down, I'll talk to you. We'll have a special show and be able to get all our stuff in there. So in saying that, let's take a short commercial. Take a short commercial right now, and with that, I'll be back. Okay, and we're back, and you're watching Convergence Report. I am Mike Thomas, and we're keeping that work for less, okay, right to work for less theme going, because there was a big announcement. And first of all, with minimum wage, and they finally raised up minimum wage, and it was like, holy cow! And everybody trumpeting, da 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 da. What's business going to do? They're going to collapse. They're just going to collapse in Ontario, having to pay all that much money. And it was just unbelievable as far as what we're trying to do. And realistically, it should have been up to $14 an hour. I know that's one heck of a jump for the small business people, but to give everybody a true opportunity to make a fair wage, and it's really not that much of a difference in their total wages. I think it was about $1,500 a year, and that's if you're working full time. And I based that on, it's always based upon the old rules, which used to be 40 hours a week, 50 weeks a year for 2,000 hours. So it was about roughly $1,500. I think it was up about 75 cents. So that's really, that's not a lot of total money. I guess it's a little extra money, and of course the government comes and takes their chunk back with taxes. But that's where that starts. Now, I guess if we're looking at 60 or 65 hours a week, which may be more of the norm for the everyday working people nowadays, without the ability to say no, I don't want to work, or it's contract, you'll lose your contract, or you have to work 5 contracts to get your 60 hours. It's just insanity out there anymore. So maybe that really pumped you up big time, and maybe that's what it's based upon, because you're going to be working so many hours that you're going to make so much extra money. But okay, so in saying that and talking about that, if you give me slide number 10 up there, Alex, and we're going to talk about dream jobs. Our dream job is there, and I kind of put a slide right back. I was doing this one before, and then I kind of backed away from it a little bit, but I kind of brought it back. And why is this the same theme? Okay, in Ontario, okay, the same theme being that it's low wages. And here we go again. And Walmart, right after the minimum wage, maybe that's what they were waiting for. They're kind of watching, saying, okay, well, how much are they going to raise it up? And so $500 million Canada expansion in regards to, and the rival shares fall, they disappear and they drop off right away. And this is what they're planning to do. And they're planning to hire about 75, and then including construction jobs. Okay, you got to make sure you read the articles. I kind of picked it up from the Reuters line off of the internet, or off of Yahoo. And so it's about $500 million, 40 this year to expand in Canada, 7,500 jobs. Target jumped in last week and said there's 9 new stores, and then you're having the same old ones. You have Loblaws, you have Canadian Tire, you have these ones kind of in fear because they were paying decent wages. They were paying, some of them actually had good benefits and good plans. And if you're unionized, the same thing. The UFCW's gone through some extremely rough times with Loblaws because they're saying we can't compete. That's the same. We can't compete with Walmart. We can't compete with Walmart in what they do because they just basically create the low wages. They create the jobs and create the low wage jobs, and then how do they compete? And this is what begins to happen. And it just thank you for all the jobs. We won't take away from that. But where is the chance? And don't give me that one day I can be an associate plus or associate plus and maybe be able to make a decent wage at Walmart because really and truly it's the same. It's there was decent wages in retail across the board, and I'm going to show you a slide in a minute, or maybe I'll show it to you now, because maybe your dream job now is to get into Walmart because your past dream job, show me slide number 11, Alex. Okay, your past dream job was Kmart, but it closed. Zellers. Another closing. Sears making huge announcements that they're reducing and closing. I don't even think I have them all. As far as the Windsor area, all our retail stores have disappeared. And of course, WOCO. This was across the board. This was across Canada. Okay, that any WOCO that was unionized, when Walmart took them over, they made them disappear. Those are the ones they made disappear. And it's kind of funny that Kmart was unionized. Zellers, they probably weren't all unionized, but some were unionized and making decent wages, decent benefits, and then weren't making $1 million a year. They're making decent wages, decent benefits, and now your chance is, okay, if you want to be reemployed. Rona, another one, gone. Okay, and maybe that's not directly to fall to Walmart, but another one. And it seems there's a huge pattern here, and it's just awful to watch and awful to see that is what it is, and what's going to be left in its place in the minimum wage Walmart jobs. And that's really what has happened, whether it's 35 supercenters or not. Okay, when will we reasonably expect for them to have new wages, decent wages, good wages and benefits so that people can live? And I know that they have everything there. Okay, I know I've done the research and I've kind of seen what they do at the stores, and there's a lot of people that need a Walmart type of stores, but geez, we used to have a lot more selection than this. I think we're down to 2 now. Down to 2 plus a zillion, like a whole different variations of dollar stores. Something radically has gone wrong, and that is what has happened, unfortunately, in Ontario and across Canada, as far as what has happened to people being able to be making a fair wage and a fair benefit. Okay, and I guess that's what happens when you keep your unemployment rates at roughly average across the board at 9%. Again, unless you're out west or something like that. So, anyways, we'll let that one go for now. If we can go to, as we're getting ready to kind of finish up the evening, these are the ones, if you really look at it, these are the ones that are most affected when we see the big radical change. Or I actually tell a lot of people, I think it's almost like we're reversing it back. And I know the 70s, I was only making about $2.75 an hour. But as far as in comparison to the wages, is that you're seeing the exact same thing. If people cannot afford or can't unless they have a really good job, they're not looking at car. They're not looking at car insurance. Okay, they're not even looking at houses. And you know what? Probably max to the credit cards of the household finance types of people. And that is the kind of world that we've recreated. And that's really what the key word is. We've recreated that. Okay, for our youth and for people. I'm not going to say our youth, 20s and 30s, and maybe even to the 40s if you run into a bad spell. And try to get it. Yeah, well, that's just the reality. Everybody's trying to, they're scraping. Where's the chance to get ahead? You're scraping. So put number 12 up there, and what we're talking about is, and it's coming up on February, you register your team by February 7th. Okay, it is the iClimb. Okay, it's the iClimb. And I have seen the event before. It's Thursday, February 13th, 7 a.m. to 8:30. A minimum pledge of $50 per person as they're really trying to build it up. 1,000 steps is what they're looking at. This is through the United Way. You can see it on iClimb@weareunited.com. Contact telephone numbers. You can, again, just go to the website. It's the 50th annual one. They have details for students because, of course, they really encourage the schools to put together fabulous programs to raise the monies. And I bet you there's all kinds that already have. And then you just watch them wearing the colors and everybody doing their team shirts. And it's actually a really cool thing to watch. Everybody eye-climbing and weaving their way all around the Windsor Family Credit Union Center. And it's a great thing to see. I covered it a couple of years ago. Hopefully, if my schedule allows me, I plan to be out there and maybe take a little bit of video to show you how great it is. You can get posters or pledge forms or whatever you need. Again, go to iClimb at we'reunited.com. Very, very important. Very, very important event. Really, it gets everybody going, and it's healthy, too. And this one here, I got to get this one in here, Alex. Okay, and this is for one of our tenants. One of our tenants here at the Downtown Windsor Business Accelerator, Bianca Bechel, and it's slide number 13, and it's Achievers in Action, Juvenile Achievers in Action. Okay, and what they've done is they put together something with the Windsor Express. Okay, for February to the February 22nd game, tickets are $20. With $10 actually go back to the Achievers in Action program. They have some great things going to happen. They have the Windsor alumni of going to come out. They got all kinds of pregame activities in store. 4:30 to 5:15 to shoot for junior achievement alumni youth basketball game. Okay, youth leadership workshop from 5:20 to 6. Meet the Express. 6:05 to 6:45. Excellent thing for everybody to come out and meet the Express, meet your winning at Windsor Express basketball team. Alumni recognition from 6:05 to 7, and of course at 7 p.m. is going to be the Windsor Express basketball game itself. Okay, and I have to check my schedule. They are playing Brampton. They're playing Brampton. That's who they're playing. Okay. So again, it's going to be an excellent opportunity to help junior achievement and see the Windsor Express basketball game at the same time. And I just want to make sure I got the more information. You can contact Bianca at Bechel at jaswont.org or call 519-997-2853. And again, a wonderful thing to do and a wonderful thing to come out and help with. Okay, and as we're kind of winding down, again, this has been a Convergence Report. I am Mike Thomas. Do check us out. Do subscribe to YouTube. Check us out also on Facebook. And don't forget, we got Betty on the Go coming on Thursday. And it's a double show again, double show with Ashley Nicole for Beyond Incredible. Again, we film straight out here with all the snow behind us at the Downtown Windsor Business Accelerator at 720 Olette. And again, it's just, we want your best in local programming for Windsor-Essex. We go to great lengths. We try to help out the community. We try to keep you on top of the issues that are happening in Windsor-Essex, and of course, again, we're going to great lengths, to make sure we are there, like the auto show, be there when we need to be there, and of course, we're interviewing, bringing guests in, especially on Betty and the Go, and of course on Beyond Incredible with Ashley Nicole, and trying to get a community flavor and be able to bring those people out to you. Okay, in regards to watching, of course, Xe's TV. So again, I am Mike Thomas. You have been watching the Convergence Report on Wednesday, February 5th. Okay, I will be back next week. I have a few more things. I want to talk about my cards again. I have a couple big-time collector items now. I do have a Brazeau, and I do have a Mac Harp in regards to what Trudeau's done with the Senate, and in regards to the RCMP. We're going to talk a little bit more about that next week, and I'm getting the cut sign. Okay, see you next week.